Lake Mead and Lake Powell are currently sitting at roughly a quarter of their total capacity. Along the canyon walls, you can see massive white bands of mineral deposits, a prominent bathtub ring marking exactly where the water level used to be. To understand why these vital reservoirs are running dry, we've partnered with today's sponsor, Shasta Unfiltered, an independent news source covering the realities facing the West. The twin pillars of the Colorado River system are held back by massive feats of 20th century engineering. Hoover Dam alone is a towering wall of concrete that made large-scale settlement in this arid region possible. While warmer temperatures certainly increase evaporation, a changing climate is only accelerating a problem that began decades ago. The core issue is a basic mathematical imbalance between how much water the river provides and how much we actually extract. We allocated a desert river to its absolute limit, and then encouraged millions of people to move to places that naturally lack the water to support them. Once Hoover and Glen Canyon dams were completed, they provided a steady, controllable water supply, and once that water was available, the people followed. This map shows population density across the American West over the last century. Before the dams, Las Vegas essentially did not exist at a modern scale, hovering around 16,000 residents. Over the next 80 years, that population exploded to nearly 3 million. Further south, the core of the Phoenix metro area saw a similar trajectory. Its population multiplied 25 times over, reaching roughly 4.7 million people. This massive influx of new residents created a permanent, high-priority need for municipal water, and it was layered directly on top of an agricultural sector that was already using nearly everything the river had to offer. We built sprawling, water-intensive metropolitan centers in the middle of a desert, entirely dependent on a single, heavily stressed river system. The foundational legal agreement that divides all this water among the western states is known as the 1922 Colorado River Compact. When the diplomats negotiated those legal rights, they based their math on river flow measurements from the early 20th century. During that specific window in time, the river was delivering a generous 16 to 18 million acre-feet of water per year. But this timeline chart of the Colorado River over the last 2,000 years shows the compact's wet period was a historical anomaly. If you look closely at these massive dips, you see severe, multi-decade megadroughts occurring repeatedly. Prolonged low-flow regimes are the natural baseline. By allocating water rights based on a temporarily bloated river, policymakers guaranteed a permanent structural deficit. They promised more water than the river can actually deliver. Because the river cannot fulfill all its promises, states have to follow a strict legal hierarchy to determine who gets cut off first during a shortage. Under the law of the river, the Central Arizona Project, the massive canal system which is delivering water to Central Arizona farms, and Phoenix, holds a junior legal status. This means their deliveries are subordinate to older, more senior claims, particularly those held by California. When reservoir levels trigger a formal shortage, those junior users lose their water first. Currently, agricultural users within this system are absorbing deep mandatory reductions, dealing an estimated $80 million economic blow to the region. Those shrinking farms are just the beginning. The legal framework ensures that as water levels continue to drop, the economic pain will cascade upward through the hierarchy, eventually reaching the cities. As the inland desert dries out, an obvious question arises. Why can't we simply build ocean desalination plants to generate new freshwater and replace what's missing? The physical scale required is staggering. This is the Carlsbad facility in California, the largest desalination plant in the Western Hemisphere, and it only produces a fraction of what a major city consumes. Then there's the geography. Nevada and Arizona are landlocked, meaning they cannot build coastal plants. California, which actually has an ocean, holds the most senior water rights to the Colorado River. They have little financial incentive to fund massive infrastructure when they are already protected from cuts. Even if you could secure the billions of dollars to build 30 to 50 of these facilities, the environmental cost would be immense. Pumping that much seawater means discharging catastrophic volumes of heavy, concentrated brine back into the Pacific, suffocating near-shore coastal ecosystems. Desalination can help supplement coastal cities, but it cannot solve the structural shortage inland. We cannot simply engineer our way out of a desert overallocated by millions of acre-feet. Without a magical technological fix, and with political negotiations stalling, simple market economics will step in to balance the ledger. As the supply continues to shrink and deeper shortage tiers are activated, the cost of securing reliable water in these regions is going to skyrocket. We will see farmers entirely priced out of their livelihoods as junior water deliveries disappear. For everyday residents, municipal water bills will steadily rise as cities scramble to buy out remaining agricultural rights or enforce strict conservation limits. Eventually, the financial burden of living in a water-starved environment will outweigh the benefits. Businesses relying on steady water and families facing endless utility hikes will have no choice but to relocate back to regions with natural water security. Civilizations have always expanded or collapsed based on their access to a reliable water supply, and the American Southwest is subject to that exact same law of nature. To keep track of how this shortage will reshape the economy and geography of the West, be sure to check out Shasta Unfiltered through the link in the description for honest, deep dive reporting.